everyone, welcome to Shakers and Bakers. Today we will be making the classic toaster pastry or toaster tart, the one that you find in the store in that little silver package. We're going to be making that here at home. My boys have actually never had the homemade version before, so we're gonna stick around to see if they like my version better or the store-bought version better. Today I will be making one with strawberry preserves in it, which is my favorite. My boys also do enjoy the cinnamon ones, but today we're sticking to the strawberry and we're going to see which one they like better. I am using a homemade pie dough in this one. You can go ahead and check out our apple pie video and that will show you exactly how I made the pie dough that we will be using today. If you want to go ahead and skip that part and you want to purchase the pie dough that you can get in the store, you can go ahead and do that also, whichever is easiest for you. I had some of this laying around from the other day when we made apple pie, so I will be using this time. So the tools that we will be using today for this recipe are a rolling pin, my favorite kitchen tool, which is an ice cream scoop, a fork, a pastry brush, a paring knife, a pizza wheel, and our sheet pan lined with parchment paper. You can go ahead and find all of our favorite kitchen tools over at our Facebook page, Shakers and Bakers All Access. There you will find a list of all of our favorite kitchen tools with links to where to buy them. We will be giving away some of our favorite tools to 5 lucky subscribers, and we will do this once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So go ahead, like this video, and subscribe to our channel. And like I said, we will be giving away 5 prizes. So in order to do that, like I said, subscribe, like, and put done in the comments. And you can go ahead and you can do that to all of our videos, as well as all of our videos over on, right in the comments, as well as all of our videos over on our All Access page on Facebook. So go ahead and get your entries in. I actually went ahead and took my pie dough out of the refrigerator about 10 minutes ago. It's going to take that edge off and make it so it's not as likely to crack when I'm rolling it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, I'm going to lightly flour my surface, and I'm going to get both of these discs rolled out into a rectangle that roughly measures 14 inches by 11 inches. So as I was rolling this dough out, the boys actually asked if they could have it in triangle shape. So I know the directions say to roll it out into a rectangle, but you can actually make these in any shape that you want. So I'm going to switch things up a little bit and I am going to make them into triangles. So this is the reason we are called the Shakers and Bakers. Things are constantly changing, the boys are constantly shaking, and you kind of have to roll with them. So there's Harrison. He is in my cookie cutters. So you will see that the directions are a little bit different from what we're doing. I called in the directions to lay in the directions it called to roll. Can you be nice and quiet for me, buddy? Thanks. In the directions, it called to roll out 2 pieces of dough and put 1 piece of dough on top of the other once it was filled, but these I think were a little bit too small, so I'm going to assemble them over on the sheet pan, so it will be a little bit different in the directions. You can see the strawberry preserves that I have. The jar is actually smaller than the scoop, so I am just going to take a bowl and just empty some of the preserves into there. The recipe calls for 1 cup of preserves. I actually didn't measure it out, but I can roughly estimate what a cup looks like in here. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to get my second piece of dough rolled out. So I'm not sure how well it will show up on camera, but this is one of the reasons I love homemade pie dough. You can see little pieces of butter in there. And what that's going to do is that is going to create steam when it's in the oven, and it's going to make those really delicious flaky layers of the pie dough. So it's one of the many reasons baking at home always turns out better. All right, so there's extra pie dough left over. Go over to our apple pie video and you're going to see the perfect thing to do with these scraps. All right, so I got everything nice and washed around the edges. I was going to use a larger scoop earlier since my pastries were going to be a little bit larger, but I'm having to switch it up, so I'm using a smaller scoop this time. All right, these are nice and filled. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a piece of the dough that hasn't been washed and I'm going to gently lay it over. I'm going to get my fork and lightly press these into each other. All right, so those triangle Pop-Tarts proved to be a little bit more difficult than we had hoped for. Next time I'm going to go ahead, if I do triangles again, and make them a little bit bigger. As you can see, some of the jelly, when I was pushing the two tarts together, it did make a little bit of a mess. So I transferred them over to a cleaner. See, look at the mess. I just put them over here onto a clean sheet pan and I'm gonna go ahead and get them in the oven. Yes. Okay, so our final product is out of the oven. I will tell you they didn't turn out like I had planned, but I'm sure they're going to be delicious. But you can see here the edges have just started to turn brown. So that's how you know when to take them out. Here they are out of the oven. They don't look as pretty as I had envisioned. I just tried one and let me tell you, it was delicious. All right, guys, I actually thought about not posting this video because the pastries didn't turn out the way I had envisioned in my head, but it's kind of a little bit of a lesson. They are delicious, so totally worth making. Just don't make them as small. So lesson number one. Also, being in the kitchen, you're going to make mistakes. Things aren't going to turn out the way that you want them. It's a little hot still. How is it?
Good.
It's really good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, come on in. So things aren't always going to go the way that you expect them, but no, you have to come in here. So things aren't always going to go the way that you expect them, but just experiment, have fun. Don't let the fear of something not turning out hold you back from trying something. I'm actually going to tell you a little story. So the very first thing I decided to make when I got my KitchenAid when I was 12 years old were whoopie pies. And I actually put in, instead of, I think the recipe called for a teaspoon of salt, I put in a tablespoon of salt. So when they were baked and after that we tried them, they looked beautiful, but they tasted awful. So do you know what I did? I went and I made the recipe all over again and I learned from my mistakes. So we learned a lesson. We're gonna make them a little bit bigger next time. How do you like them, Brody? Good. How's yours, Harrison?
Okay.
They're still delicious. So they're still good, even though they don't look as pretty as I had envisioned. They're amazing. They are 100% better than the ones that you buy in the store. Harrison's making a big mess, so we're gonna go clean this up. So until next time, guys, keep shaking, keep baking, keep trying things out, and roll with the punches. See you guys later.